Welcome back to Juice is the New Tea. I am your host. It's your girl, Eleni Simos, also known as the Clean Eating Chick. And today we're diving into something that I think we all need a little bit more of these days, feeling grounded. Especially when life feels like it's swirling, things feel chaotic, uncertain, unpredictable, or Mercury is retrograde, your energy is just plain off and you're out of alignment. I want to share some tried and true techniques to help you anchor back into your body, back into the present moment, and honestly, back into your power. We're going to cover a few different ways: breathwork, time in nature, spending some time grounding, meditation, and even how to energetically plug yourself back into the earth. Yes, that's a real thing. And yes, you may or may not have entered the simulation. So if you ever find your mind racing, or you're feeling anxious, or you're in the midst of a transitional time in your life, or you feel like the world is moving faster than you can keep up with, I've been there. This one is for you. So I've mentioned before, I personally feel like it is in the in-between moments, the uncertainty, where we find ourselves broken down, unsure, uncertain, stripped of any clear direction. It is in that space where true alchemy happens. And most people want to skip the process. They want to jump from the hardship straight into the breakthrough. But life doesn't work that way. And let's be real, lasting growth doesn't happen that way either. You really have to sit with the discomfort, face yourself, and trust that even in the unknown, something is shifting for you, for your higher purpose. Uncertainty shakes our nervous system. Our brains are wired to crave predictability. And when things shift, whether it's a relationship, a career, health, or global events, our flight or fight gets triggered. And what we do naturally, we spiral. Our cortisol levels spike, we overthink, we disconnect from our bodies, we look for something outside of ourselves to feel safe. And that's normal. But the real magic, as always, is inside of us. So let's get right into these techniques on how to ground our energy. First up, breath work, baby. That is my favorite. Your breath is the most accessible tool you have. One of my favorite spiritual teachers, Imani Cohen, also known as the Hood Healer, she says, as long as you have breath, you have options. So one of my absolute favorite grounding breathwork techniques is called box breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. All right, so we're going to try it together. So we're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. Try this for 1 to 2 minutes and immediately you will feel your nervous system regulate. The rhythm, the intentional slowing down. It's like telling your body, hey, we're safe here. If you want to take a step further, you can even visualize during your breath work roots growing from your feet into the earth with every exhale, pulling any tense, chaotic energy out of you. Another beautiful way to ground your energy is to get your ass in nature. Yes, for the ultimate reset, Mother Nature always provides. Mother Nature heals, and Mother Nature holds the cure for every ailment. There is nothing quite like the energy recalibration that you will get from spending time in nature, amongst the trees, the fresh air, the birds. I know I sound like a Disney princess right now, but hey, if the glass slipper fits, honey, there's nothing like the medicine you receive from physically touching the earth. So whether that's walking barefoot in your backyard, a park, a beach, sitting under a tree with your palms pressed into the ground, or taking a slow hike, taking in the scenery with all of your 5 senses, noticing the sounds, the smells, the textures around you. And believe me, this isn't just feel-good advice either. This is scientifically backed. The earth carries a negative charge, and when we connect to it, it helps us to neutralize the excess positive ions, aka stress, that builds up in our bodies. So yes, Mother Nature come through always. But if you can't get outside every day, there are grounding mats. I've never tried them, but I've heard a lot about them. Grounding mats are a solid alternative. And, I always advocate for the real dirt in between your toes kind of moments whenever and wherever possible. Now let's talk about stillness. So meditation doesn't have to be intimidating or require you to get your mind completely clear. That's, again, not always attainable. So I always tell my students in yoga or during our sound baths that there is no right or wrong way to meditate, just like there is no right or wrong way to receive sound healing. A super simple grounding meditation is to sit comfortably, close your eyes, and do a little body scan. Start at the top of your head and move down, noticing any sensations, tension, or built up energy in your body. And I always tell my students, send your breath, send your awareness to those parts of the body as you continue to move down. And once you reach your feet, begin to visualize again those roots extending deep into the earth. Imagine the earth's supportive and loving energy flowing back up through those roots and into your legs, your belly, and into your heart. Honestly, even just 5 to 10 minutes of meditation a day can bring you back into your breath and back into your body. Now, one of my personal favorites I mentioned is the breathwork and the meditation, but I truly love spending time in an infrared sauna. I love shocking my system on all levels and then plunging my body into 38-degree water, okay? Maybe I'm crazy. But when you're in the sauna, you're sweating, your heart rate is rising, toxins are releasing, blood flow is increasing. Honestly, a good sauna session really forces you to slow down, breathe deeper, and surrender to that 168-degree heat. It's a beautiful practice with discomfort without spiraling, which mirrors how we can handle and power through times of stress, times of uncertainty. And then I contrast that with the cold plunge, and you got true alchemy right there. Cold plunges are an excellent way to get out of your head and into your body. If you've done a cold plunge, you know the minute you get into that water, the shock hits, your mind immediately wants to panic. It is so freaking cold. You can't feel your toes. You actually can't feel anything. But if you focus on your breath, if you slow down the breath, you actually can teach your nervous system how to stay calm in chaotic moments. It's literally somatic training for handling stress, staying grounded, and building resilience. Plus, there is that added health benefit of boosting circulation, reducing inflammation, and giving you that rush of feel-good neurotransmitters. I personally swear by a sauna and a cold plunge session whenever I feel off. It brings me right back into my body and reminds me of how strong I truly am. So we covered breath work, grounding, cold plunges, spending time in that infrared sauna, and meditation. And now let's get into nutrition. Yes, the foods that you eat certainly impact you on an energetic vibrational level. Food is energy. And there are certain foods that can literally help us root back into our bodies. So if you're feeling out of alignment, ungrounded, focus on incorporating root vegetables into your daily diet. That's warm, earthy spices, healthy fats. And some root vegetables that I love that contain grounding energy are sweet potatoes, carrots, and beets. These are foods that are actually grown in the ground and contain the earth's negative charge that can help, again, neutralize our energy. So if possible, choose warm cooked meals over raw and cold foods, and incorporate spices like turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger. And then pair it with a nice little healing cup of ginger tea, and add that little sprinkle of cinnamon can really warm the spirit and ground your emotional and spiritual energy. Incorporating healthy fats like nuts, avocado, seeds can also help keep your body warm. So especially in uncertain or chaotic times where our energy is off, we're tempted to reach for quick, processed, or sugary foods that are slower, denser, and take up more of our energy to digest. So think of eating well as the highest form of self-love. And you can even think of it as a hug for your nervous system. So here's a quick grounding ritual that you can do anytime. Whenever life is coming at you fast, or you feel like your faith is being tested, find a quiet spot, even if it's in your car, and do 1 minute of box breathing. Close your eyes, visualize those roots growing from your body and connecting into the earth. And then you can quietly set an intention by reminding yourself, I am safe, I am supported, and I am grounded. For extra bonus points, take off your shoes and get your toes in the earth. Give thanks to Mama Earth for all the beautiful and miraculous ways that she guides and heals us every day. So there you are. Breathwork, nature, meditation, grounding foods, and a few rituals to help keep you anchored when your energy feels imbalanced. Remember, uncertainty is a part of life, but how you meet it is what truly matters. You have so many tools available to you to stay steady, centered, and connected to yourself and your power. If this resonated with you, share it with a friend who might need some grounding energy too. And as always, you can DM me, drop a comment, and let me know what grounding techniques work for you. You know, I love hearing for all of the ways that you all are applying these in your real life. So until next time, stay juicy, stay rooted in your power and your purpose, and keep on sipping on that self-awareness, that green juice, baby. We'll see you next time on Juice is the New Tea. Juice is the New Tea is brought to you by Cleanse Juices. For more information on 3-day juice cleanses and 4 flavor packs, visit iamcleanse.com. Use code JUICEISTHENEWT for 10% off all orders.